Have you ever looked at the emoji in your phones? Like actually looked at them? I'd be interested to know if you understand them all and what they mean. Because without us realizing it, we've carried a lot of Japan with us in our phones. My name is Elisa Freedman, and I study Japanese cultural studies, literature, and gender. The word emoji comes from Japanese. It literally means picture characters. But since 2016, the word has been officially entered into the English vocabulary. So emoji is really an example of how Japanese popular culture globalizes. They're grounded in a fictive Japan, a Japan that we imagine through reading a certain set of symbols. But we apply them in ways that might not necessarily have been intended in the original Japanese usage. For example, one of the misunderstood emoji is the hands that are put together that US thinks is prayer. This really means yoroshiku onegai shimasu, or thank you or please in Japanese. There's a Japanese New Year's decoration. It's the one with 3 pieces of bamboo with the middle piece sticking up the most. Some creative users had used that as the middle finger obscene gesture emoji in the United States. That wouldn't translate into Japan. Why are you texting me the New Year's decoration when you're really flipping me off? A more common example, in the emoji universe, an eggplant and a peach have very different meaning. Or the receptionist emoji, the woman with her hand pointed to the side like she's holding a platter. That's a receptionist because in Japanese culture, you don't point with your index finger. That's rude. Instead, you palm. You use your palm to signal things. So we learn a lot about multiculturalism, what is lacking. For example, the only jobs available for women in the emojiverse before 2016 were dancers and receptionists. I love the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. To a certain extent, that's true, but you need to use emoji with words. One, they need to have context, because they're not a word. Like, you could say the word yes, and we understand what that means. There's also tone of voice. When you're sending a text message, you just get yes. You don't get yes or yes. Same thing with an emoji. Like, suppose you haven't talked to your friend, like a friend you hadn't talked to in a week, and suddenly they send you a smile face. How do you interpret that? Emoji is an example of one form of Japanese popular culture that has a grounding in Japan, but yet has enough readability across cultures that it can seamlessly blend. It's a very different model than, say, like Godzilla. Like, Godzilla was the second Japanese film to ever come to the US, but it was changed. The original Godzilla from '54 was an anti-war, anti-nuclear movie with a strong Japanese militaristic vibe. The American Godzilla was re-edited into a silly monster movie with Raymond Burr narrating about the superstitions of the Japanese people. So my point in that is Godzilla, a lot of the cultural context is recalibrated. But emoji represents something different. People don't realize they're from Japan. They blend more seamlessly. It got to a point, I think, sometimes in communications in Japan that messages felt empty without emoji, and I heard anecdotes of people thinking friends or loved ones were angry at them if there were no emojis in their messages. Emoji might have this function of emotional soothing. Like when we send an emoji where we feel better toward the message, like, I hate you, smile face, might have a very different resonance. Or better yet, congratulations, smile face, might seem a happier way of congratulating someone. With an emoji, things are clearer, many people say.